Hey everyone, so I thought I'd take the time to be out in the sun while the sun's out and do a little reading, or not a reading, sorry, just a discussion about Kundalini and some of the, I would call it misconceptions about it. And there are some different opinions, and I'm not saying that there's one right or wrong perspective, but I kind of want to also go over how there's different ways of looking at it, but mostly just go over some of the misconceptions, in my opinion, about it. So a lot of people talk about Kundalini as being like the most important thing, and and some people talk about it as if it's a dangerous thing as well. And if you activate it, then like you have to be careful what you think because you're gonna manifest it, etc., etc. I think instead of throwing all these ideas out there, I think it's better to just understand the core basic idea of what it is. And so, just to oversimplify things, what Kundalini really is just the vitality of the body, basically. It comes from the first chakra, which is the root chakra, and that is associated with safety, security, survival, well-being, finance, stability, things of that, as well as the physical body itself. As you go up in the chakras to the head and to the seventh chakra, then things become more spiritual, and by spiritual I mean less of the physical body, and the heart chakra is kind of in between, in the middle, where the spirit and the body energies kind of meet. So Kundalini itself is just the vitality of the physical body that is the energy coming out from the first chakra, which is the root chakra. And usually when people ground, that's what they ground with, or just their whole aura or whatever. But that's a common thing to ground to the center of the earth. Hence the name root chakra, roots down to the center of the earth to ground and release energy in that way. But it's also, because it's related to the physical body and whatnot, it's also kind of more about the manifestation of being in your body and physical existence. And so, in some sense, if you don't have your root chakra in check, cleared out from other energies, etc., or blocked or whatever, then you're not really going to have your safety, security, survival, well-being, financial situations, etc., things of that nature are not going to be working out very well. So it's kind of the first step in anything. And in, I think, behavioralist psychology, they say that the first thing you prioritize to get in check in your life is obviously food and shelter and things of that nature. And then once you have those things established, then it's sexuality and things like that, which is funny because the first chakra is about those. The second chakra is about sensuality and sexuality. Although there is a level of sexuality within the first chakra as well, because it involves the physical body, which is what the first chakra is about. The second chakra is more about the emotions and sensuality and the expression of the sexual energy being done through the physical body. But anyways, Kundalini is a lot of the time associated with sexuality because of that. But when you really have your Kundalini going up through all your chakras, it's not really about sexuality. It's actually about all of the chakras. That's what it is. It's the physical body, the manifestation, safety, security, groundedness of being in a physical body. That energy is going to the next chakra, second chakra, goes all the way up to your chakra has a different theme. So let's say it goes through your second chakra about emotions and whatnot. And then it goes to your third chakra more about like what you do, your willpower, things of that nature, your actions that you take. Your male, female energy can be there. Then it goes up to the heart chakra, which is kind of like what you resonate with, like other people, and so as it works its way up, it's bringing that energy of stability, and it makes it so that those things can manifest more. So when people talk about Kundalini being this magical energy that can make you manifest whatever you want in your life, that's what that means. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're just gonna. It's. I mean, potentially you could just snap your fingers and manifest anything. I'm not saying that's impossible, but what I am trying to get at is that it's kind of just more simple than that. It's just that this energy of the first chakra is in alignment with these other chakras. And so when that happens and the energy is able to flow between them, then naturally the result would be the theme of those two chakras kind of mixing their energies together. And this is an oversimplification. It's much more complex than just that, but I think that's a good way to understand it and to kind of demystify some of the false statements or over exaggerations that are out there, misconceptions about it. Another thing, back to the second chakra, because it's the first one up from the first chakra that the Kundalini will experience, and so of course that is going to be part of the experience as well as all the other chakras. But I've heard people talk about how Kundalini, the feeling of Kundalini rising is like an orgasm in the body. And I would say the feeling of clearing energy in general is like an orgasm in the body, or just meditating. If you really have a really deep, profound meditation, it will feel like an orgasm in the body. And so to say that Kundalini is that feeling, I mean, yes, it is, but so is a lot of just clearing energy and having energy flowing through your body. That's what an orgasm is. It's feeling the energy flowing through your body. That's what it is that you're feeling. That's why it feels good. And so you can just move energy, clear energy, be grounded, etc., and feel pretty profound and amazing from that alone. Whether it is Kundalini or just getting your energy channels and movement. I've also heard people talk about how, and I've seen some YouTube videos about this, where they say that porn is helpful for getting your Kundalini activated. And this, I think that there could be some instances where I could see that making sense. But overall, I disagree, because most of what that's about is just getting it to the second chakra, and that's I guess that's something, but ultimately you want it to go all the way up to your higher self chakra, to your heart chakra, to kind of stabilize, manifest, be able to manifest in the physical body, which is your first chakra, to be able to have that in like physically, to experience in your reality, your waking reality, not just out of body in some dream or something, like actually for it to manifest physically. That energy coming to your heart chakra, affecting your relationships, the things that you resonate with, how you identify yourself. The heart chakra, then going up to your throat chakra, about how you communicate, to your sixth chakra, third eye, about how you're able to perceive the world and see things more clearly and be seen for who you are as well, and then to your higher self, and you're able to manifest that so that those things are in alignment with your waking reality. And when that happens, synchronicities will happen more often, and things will just kind of flow more naturally for you. You may just, kind of have an intention in life, and it will just be easier for you to achieve it because there's less energy blocking that flow. So the other thing is, I've addressed this before, that pornography can actually do the opposite and prevent you from, reaching the higher chakras, because it's kind of more about keeping it just in the first chakra and maybe a little bit in the second chakra, but it's like kind of a skewed second chakra. It's actually, if anything, it's just taking that energy, that the body's vitality energy, and just kind of working it, and then gone. And that's that, and you didn't really experience it in alignment with your higher self. I mean, it's possible, but most of what the media is putting out is actually blocking that and preventing you from having that type of experience. So I thought that was important to mention. And Kundalini isn't necessarily something scary. Like what I was saying, it can increase your synchronicities, and your intentions can become manifested because you're working with the energy of your first chakra, which is more of the physical realm, more of the body. And so things that may have just been a dream, where you have a bad dream at night, it might become more like your actual physical waking life instead of just being a dream. However, generally speaking, what this does is it allows energy to flow easier, and that energy will usually neutralize and clear out over time these energies that aren't resonating with you. Kind of like how water going through a stream slowly cleans out everything until you just have a whole bunch of round, shiny rocks. That's the idea with the movement of energy here. Some people say with Kundalini that it is of the body and it only really goes up to the seventh chakra, and it just kind of stays within the body. And then generally what you see is people talk about it, just jump out of your head and do the full torus movement. And I don't necessarily say one is right or wrong, although I could see how potentially the more bodily energy of it would stay in the body, but it would allow for the other energies that it picks up along the way from the other chakras to sprout out. Although I'm not necessarily saying that the first chakra energy doesn't do that on some level too. I think it's just a matter of opinion of which route you want to go when you try and meditate on these things. So that's basically all that Kundalini energy is. And, you know, there's a lot of hype about it. I do think that it is an important energy because it links things up with your physical body. However, it's not necessary for you to, meditate on Kundalini because there's other ways of meditating that will basically clear energy and help you out just as well. But what am I trying to say here? Yeah, meditating is really what it comes down to, regardless of what you're meditating on, whether it's your Kundalini coming up your body or going up through your chakras or whatever. Energy flows in many different ways, and Kundalini is just one of those. The other thing about Kundalini is that it's said to give people superpowers, and again, that's because of the manifesting on the physical plane and kind of like anchoring the spirit and bringing these higher energies down to reality, down to earth, being grounded, in the sense that it's actually bringing up that energy into these chakras. But it can also give you like super strength power in some sense that like when someone lifts a car, like say there's some emergency and it just like sparks something in them and they just have like this crazy ability to just lift up a car and like pull someone out from underneath, like superhero status power. Sometimes that is the Kundalini being activated, which can happen from trauma because again this is an energy of the body, and so this is how the body heals itself. And so if your body feels like it needs to heal itself, again, the first chakra is about safety, security, survival. So sometimes it will spark that energy and send it throughout your whole body so that your body has that vitality. This can also be very taxing on the body. If you are a adrenaline junkie, that means that you're probably tapping into your Kundalini energy a lot and you're actually kind of addicted to it. And this can become a problem for people, not just who are adrenaline junkies, but also people who meditate on Kundalini excessively, because it can cause adrenal fatigue, or adrenal burnout is another way of putting it, where basically your adrenal glands, associated with adrenaline, basically just deplete themselves. And I don't think this is literally that the adrenal gland itself becomes dysfunctional. I think it's more so that you just run out of reserves. Basically, you just run out of Kundalini energy. And so sometimes that could be related to running out of things in your nutrients in your body that need to support the body to be able to support the Kundalini, etc., however you want to look at it. Or you could just look at it as it's just the Kundalini energy itself that's becoming depleted. It's all kind of interwoven as the same thing on some level. So I just thought that would be interesting to talk about, and I haven't had much time to do a reading on anything in particular. I've been very busy, and I And I reached 500 subscribers, so I just thought I'd celebrate by making a video. So thank you all for subscribing, and I appreciate the likes and comments, etc., etc. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.